Hey you all, Farmer Jesse here, doing something a little bit different this week. We're going to try to time-lapse different projects or different events, like a harvest in this case, and kind of give some commentary over top, because a lot of the stuff that would be in this video that may be of interest wouldn't necessitate its own video per se. So anyway, that's what I'm going to try this week. Let me know if you think that's cool and you want me to do more of them. All right, the carrot harvest that you're seeing right now, this is one of the plots that was out of the poor drainage area, and you can see that the carrot density there is just not great. Greg and I are just getting what we can. We've interplanted some lettuce on the left and cucumbers on the right just to maximize that space. But, you know, that was a kind of a rough area there. Moving on to head lettuces, we do maybe 50 or 60 head lettuces in May per market, and then we'll move up to closer to 100 for June and July and August. They're a pretty good seller for us, and I like them because of the reduction in plastic. So as many head lettuce as we can. I'm always harvesting and then picking any bad leaves off and putting them in directly in the basket. You know, you want to touch it as little as possible. And these are romaines that we're getting that I had interplanted kind of to take up the space where the carrots didn't germinate well. I talked about this in another video, that when you don't really want to just terminate your carrots, just plant something like beets or head lettuces, or in the case of that, there was some Salanova in there too, but planting some lettuce to make up for that space. More head lettuces. This is essential. Boom. And you know, lots of romaine lettuce. Romaine's great. Skyphos is great. Muir is another one we do all summer. We actually do Muir all year just because it's great in summer and cold. Those were not covered for any pests. They were just covered because they were next to the radishes, and I figured, what the hey. This is like not quite mature, but the next week this is about to be over mature, so it's going to all mature at once. So I wanted to cut out some of these plots. This is all Salanova. One thing I want to remark on here is the value of the living pathways. Like, the bottom of the bin is not getting muddy, and it's kind of awesome. That was not an expected event here. Usually, you know, you have mud and dirt and all sorts of stuff getting on the bottom of your bins, but these bins were super clean, and I liked that a lot. I mean, just in terms of sanitation, but also just, you know, you end up dragging that mud around and putting it on your tabletops or whatever, and it's just, yeah, it's not great. It's dirty. It's maybe not as sanitary. I love the living pathways for kind of keeping it a little cleaner. This isn't my favorite formation. I prefer splitting the beds in half. Having those lettuce down the middle is kind of inconvenient, but I'm trialing a bunch of different ways to interplant onions and lettuce, and that one's not my favorite, but it does work. It is effective. You know, my preference, I think, is just to split the bed in two different, just in terms of efficiency, have one crop on one side and another crop on the other side. Like, this is kale on either side of the chard. This is back in the poor drainage plot, and you can see the chard has actually done way better than the kale. Like, the chard and beet, that whole family, has actually done okay in these poor drainage plots. I don't know, you know, they're Mediterranean crops, so it's a little bit surprising that they would be good in a situation like this, but they've actually been kind of effective. The greens aren't as big, but they're nice, and you can see on the left those beets. There's really nice beets on there. The greens are not super tall, but there's actually, you're going to see me in a second harvest those. And they're actually like pretty nice. And kind of like with the living pathways, I mean, the wood chips are a little better for keeping the bottoms of your bins clean. So that, you know, that over just like a cultivated pathway is my preference at the moment. And, you know, or you could put them on, you know, some sort of cart or something, but I don't do that. Beets, love harvesting beets. It's always fun for me. I love the way they look. I love bunching them. Like I said, these greens are not as good as the ones that you're going to see in a second that are out of the tunnel. I think that's a product of just, you know, the drainage, and also these are in between two tunnels, so they may not get quite the sunlight, so I'm not sure, but yeah, they look okay. Instagram. Now, in a second, you're going to see what they look like versus, you know, we had some in between some carrots, and beyond that little yellow leaf there, that you know, those greens are impeccable. So I really like growing beets in the tunnel. I think they get a little bit of an advantage from the diffuse light. Salad spinner. The thing with this video is that I didn't record everybody doing everything. You saw Greg earlier harvesting. You're going to see Hannah in a second. They're part of the team and they're obviously doing stuff, but I don't have 3 cameras to film everybody, and I don't know that they would love that. So I do this for you, and I've carried this camera around all day while I harvested. This is our root veg washing station. I'm going to talk more in a later video because I know people are going to have questions about this, about the hands-free root washer there. We haven't perfected it yet, but I'm going to have a video on that in the future, and it's going to be super cool. And yeah, I think you're going to love it, but give me a chance to get that dialed in a little bit better before I, really fill you in on that. Carrot, 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 carrot. And a big early shout out to my buddy David Ladner, who's helping me out with that project. He's an engineer, and he came and did the harvest with us once, and he was like pointing out where our inefficiencies were. Like, if you can have an engineer come to your farm and work on stuff with you, it's so amazing. Because he's like, your biggest inefficiency here is your wash. Like, you've got to speed this up. You can't be holding your sprayer with one hand and the crop with the other. You need both hands free. That's speed everything up. So he pointed out a couple of inefficiencies that we're working on. So like I said, more on that later. But this harvest, there's a lot of stuff that's not even pictured. The microgreens and various other things that we harvested this day. Greg did the green onions and the radishes that you see there. Having beets and carrots on your table, like if you can have beets and carrots every week, for us in our area, it's, we basically can sell every beet and carrot. We bring onions. Green onions are okay in May, but they're really good in June and July and August. So we start kind of cultivating that audience and bringing them in, and in May, and then they kind of come to expect it in June and July. So we try and have those crops as many and as much as we can, finishing up with some garlic scapes and some green garlic. And that's kind of all I caught on tape. But if you enjoyed this, if you liked this video, please like this video and make sure to subscribe to the channel and all those good things. And let me know. I mean, if you want me to do more of these sort of time lapses, these are a little bit easier for me to do because I'm just bringing you along with me. And yeah, I can do more. And if you can hear my children, they are here. And I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day off. So thanks you all for watching. We'll see you later. All right. Bye.